The point is, um, as Nasrallah said, Hamas coordinated nothing with them or the Iranians. When Hamas launched this attack, it took everybody by surprise. The Israelis, Hezbollah, the Iranians, because this Hamas conflict is about Hamas objectives. Straight up. Hamas is the one defining what victory is here. And victory for Hamas is a Palestinian state. There wasn't going to be a Palestinian state if Israel and Saudi Arabia consummated their normalization of relations as they were getting ready to do. The Abraham's Accord would have been fully implemented, and death to the the notion of Palestinian statehood. There are thousands of Palestinians in Israeli prisons right now. Most of them haven't been charged with a crime. They've just been arrested, beat the hell up, tortured. They're thrown in, no due process. They're just there. Hey, guys, for all you people that say Israel's a democracy just like us, maybe they are, because that's sort of what we do too. But the point is, there's that. And then, of course, there's the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, the third holiest site in Islam, has been desecrated, and the Muslim worshippers have been beat up, harassed. The deprivations are real, and Hamas is saying you can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. Now, Israel's not going to listen to Hamas going normally and saying, "Hey, we'd really like a Palestinian state." Israel's going to say, "Pound sand." Hey, we'd really like it if you release those 5,000 prisoners you have. Stick it in your ear. Hey, we'd really appreciate if you didn't go around and rough up worshipers at the Al-Aqsa Mosque and you treated it a little with a modicum of respect. You stick it in the other place. That's Israel's response. So the only way you get Israel's attention is to reach out, grab by the throat, bitch slap them, and now they wake up. And that's what Hamas did on October 7th. They reached out and they bitch slapped Israel. Scott, that's pretty insensitive. They killed 1,400 Israelis. Well, actually, it's 1,300. The death toll's risen since then. But did they really kill 1,300? First of all, how many bodies do we have? Because the last time they put out an official death count, it's like 900 and some odd. Now, I'm not saying that the numbers aren't going to go up. They probably are. But I'm saying that, be careful when you throw around numbers. And then what is the cause of death? Because we're certainly getting a lot of Jewish survivors in the kibbutz who are saying Hamas didn't kill these people. The IDF did. They got that famous phone call in from the lady who said, yep, 20 of us were held hostage in this building, 8 Hamas fighters. They wanted to surrender. The IDF said no, fired tank rounds in, killed the 8 Hamas guys, killed 18 Jewish hostages, severely wounded 1, and she was the sole unharmed survivor. There's more and more stories coming out. The head of security of one of the biggest kibbutzes is saying, "Yeah, we couldn't stop this, man. We were telling them don't fire. There's hostages." And the IDF came in and they just bam, main tank rounds into all the buildings. All the buildings where you have the tearful colonel coming out and saying, "Oh, inside there's a family burnt up by the Hamas people." And you look at the building, you go, a hand grenade doesn't do that damage, boss. They were burned up by your main tank round that went in there and killed them. I'm not saying Hamas didn't kill people. I'm sure there's plenty of GoPro camera footage out there that shows them shooting people. But what I'm trying to say is that when you look at the high death count, understand that easily 50%, probably more, were killed by Israeli troops because of their panicked reaction, their overreaction. They were scared, and they slaughtered everybody. They killed every Palestinian they got a hold of, and they killed every Jewish hostage that was in the way. So be careful about the numbers there. One thing we do know is that Hamas kicked the living crap out of the IDF. Stand up, fight. The 13th Battalion of the Golani Brigade, one of the elite infantry units of the IDF, was beat up bad. The 51st, beat up bad. These guys weren't sleeping. They weren't, on vacation. They were frontline soldiers, manning their posts as they're supposed to. Hamas came through the wire, overran them, shot them up, killed a whole bunch of them, caused the others to retreat, took hostage many of them. why did Hamas do this way? Why did they behave in this manner? Because they were shocking the Israeli system to do what? To do what they knew the Israelis would do, because Israel has put it down in a written doctrine. I go to the Dahiwa doctrine. It is about the mass punishment, collective punishment of the Palestinian people. And they knew, Hamas, that if they went in there, took these hostages, why would they take hostages? People would say, well, the only way Hamas ever gets these Palestinians who are unjustly arrested by the Israelis, again, total violation of international law. Everybody's talking about it. They know it, but no one punishes Israel because they're exceptional. They're very democratic, just like we are. They're good people. They put these people in prison, beat the living crap out of them. Let me just give you a little thing of what they do with Palestinian girls. They rape them, and they film the rape. And then they release these girls, and they say, you're going to report to us about everything that happens, or else we're going to release the film. And if we release the film, you know what happens to you, don't you? Yes, you do. It's an honor killing. They're going to kill you because you've been raped. And that's the way it is. That's what the Israelis do. The Israelis do this on a regular basis. This is part of their standard police procedure. The Shin Bet, the security services. Come on, guys. In many ways, I guess they are like us, because we suck as a nation too. Guantanamo Bay, torture, the whole thing. Well, the Israelis do it, and they do it bigger, and they do it better. They're not good people. They're bad people. And Hamas was tired of having 2 million Palestinians live in an open air concentration camp. So they took these hostages. Why? Because historically, Israel pays a premium to get dead bodies and living bodies back. 2010, Hamas kidnapped a single Israeli soldier, and they were able to get over 1,000 prisoners released because of to return him. So they want 5,000 released. They take 200 some odd hostages. That's why they did it. That's inhuman to take. It's inhuman to take 5,000 people prisoner and hold them in jail without due process. That's inhuman. How do you resolve that one, people? All you who don't want Hamas to take hostage, tell me how you get them released. Is America doing it? When was the last time Joe Biden made a phone call to Benjamin Netanyahu and said, release the prisoners? Never. They would never be released, ever be released. So Hamas is seeking their release, and they took hostages. Hamas needs to get a Palestinian state, but how do you do that? The world had ignored Palestine. The Abraham Accord were being implemented. If they normalize relations with Saudi Arabia, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Game, set, match. There will never be a Palestinian state. So what do you have to do? You have to get the Israelis to behave as you know exactly how they're going to behave. So you kill a whole bunch of people, you take a whole bunch of people hostage, and then you fall back in on your prepared defensive positions. And Hamas has about 50,000 guys underground, deep underground. They've been stalking there for months. They've been planning this operation for a year. They knew exactly what they wanted to happen. They wanted Israel to come in and execute, as predicted, the Dahiwa doctrine, to collectively punish the Palestinian people. The tragic thing is, Hamas needed Israel to bomb the Palestinian people. That doesn't make Israel's actions legitimate. It just means that when Israel says that we will hold the Palestinian population collectively responsible, they mean it. So all Hamas did is said, do what you guys want to do, and they killed him. Why? Why would Hamas do that? Remember, these are 2 million people who live in an open-air concentration camp that nobody gives a damn about. Not a single one of you people out there, not a single one of you people out there cared about Palestine a couple months. I didn't. I'm going to be honest enough to say that. If you talked to me about Palestine this summer, I would have went, it's not on my radar. Yeah, it's a tragic situation. Yeah, it's bad, but now I'm really focused on this war in Ukraine. That's where I'm at. Other people are going to say other things. Nobody was talking about Palestine except the hardcore activists, and even they had given up on there ever being a chance for a Palestine. So Hamas was like, that ain't going to happen, guys. We're in charge of governing these people, and we don't want to govern a concentration camp. Remember that, Israel, all you pro-Israeli guys out there. Why doesn't Hamas just stick to governance? To govern a concentration camp? Really? Are you that stupid? Are you that dense? Apparently you are, because you never thought Hamas would do what they did. They did it, and now you're overreacting. You're blowing the living crap out of the Palestinians, and the world opinion has turned. Why? Because Hamas knew what would happen when Israel went in and did what Israel does. Israel is a horrific, racist, murderous regime that's disguised itself as a democracy, and too many people have swallowed that poison pill.